Hello, 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 hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just good. I've been trying to watch the Grand Prix and it's been stopping and starting for... Well, it should have started at 2.
What, did they keep running out of petrol? Do they even use is it all electric?
No. It was rained off for a lot of it, so it's been a bit stopping and starting. Probably should have finished about... Well, no, yeah, should have finished about an hour or two ago. Right, I sent the link.
Lovely. Oh, I'm tired now.
I'm tired. Got salty kiss in. It comes in pints.
It comes in pints.
Comes in pints.
I'm doing a pint of this.
What's that? Cheers.
Coffee.
Oh, you got some coffee then? Well done.
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Yeah, so I've been asleep for about 40 minutes.
I was really hoping the kids would they looked at one point like they were going to fall asleep, and I was like, as soon as they do, I'm doing it. But they didn't. Eric was about to nod off when Trix ran over and booted him in the head.
That's kids for you.
I was like, oh, there goes that.
Don't know why it's tired. It wasn't that late at night, was it?
Yeah, but it's one of them where I definitely would have slept in for an extra couple of hours. I'm about 2 hours of good quality sleep shy.
Yeah.
You're
owed them, aren't you? You got to have them back at some point.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Always got to pay the piper.
Yeah, then when the man comes knocking.
Yeah. You're giving you sleep.
Yeah, and I'm every passing year, I've become more and more precious about this sleep thing.
Yeah.
We used to be like 4 hours, fuck it, no probs.
The sleep thing, you talk as if like it's a brand new thing that's just been invented.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
tell me about this new sleep thing that's going on. They just
put out a new album.
Is it the same as Twitter's? Is it? You can hear me, okay, can't you?
What?
Yeah, that's fine. Funny joke. Funny joke.
Ross's funny joke.
There we go. Connected to audio. Hello. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Mr. Chimp Jones.
It is I. Yes. and you must be Ross.
Yes.
Excellent. Well done.
I am Ross with one S. I barely use Zoom, but one thing I have noticed is I put Ross S and it just pulls the first initial from my surname. So it looks like I'm adopting some kind of snaky posture. I'm perfectly trustworthy.
Thanks for the forewarning. And I'll carry it.
Have you got video or not?
Do I? I should have.
Well, you haven't currently.
I haven't currently. Okay. Oh, for God's sakes.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello there.
There we go.
There's a cushion there.
I'm immediately at ease now.
Good. Thank God. Yeah, I was really only keeping the video turned off because I have a horrible deformity.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'm not going to show you it because that would be.
I've seen it. It's
I really want to see. I really want to see it now.
Well, maybe when I know you better.
Is that everything okay?
Yeah, not too bad. I woke up yesterday feeling like shit for some reason. I don't know exactly why, but all sweaty and headache and all that kind of shit. My voice is kind of scratchy today.
Have you done a test?
I have not. I have one. Excuse me, I have several, but I have not done any yet. It could just be nothing at all.
Just generalness.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife was exactly the same this morning. She did a test. She was all in the clear, but she's like aching all over, sore throat, headache.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, it happens, especially this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, I think nowadays we expect everything to be the COVIDs, but it's not. I mean, there are other things out there.
Yeah. We live in an age now where we fart to cover up a cough.
Yes, exactly. Which is an unexpected turn of events for sure.
Yeah.
And your coughs stink, Ross. So it's not good.
I was going to say it works out better for the Gaseus among us.
Oh, dear. So what time is it there?
It is 11:42 in the morning.
In the morning, right? Okay.
Whereabouts are you?
I can't in Pennsylvania, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, near to Harrisburg, which would probably be the one place in Pennsylvania maybe that you've heard of.
I nearly went to Pennsylvania to study abroad, but I ended up going to New Hampshire instead.
Oh, really?
Pennsylvania was one of the options. I looked into it. I only chose New Hampshire because of the sheer amount of woodland.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mountains and outdoor activities you can do. But I spent nearly 2 years there.
Oh, nice.
And absolutely loved it. We're going back now. It was 10 years now, actually, that I did that. But so I've never actually been to Pennsylvania.
It's not bad. I mean, it's attractive in certain parts.
Yeah.
It's very
you're talking about deformity again, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's attractive in parts, but it's only in certain parts, and because of the nature of the deformity, you can't see those parts unless you look.
Unless you're on a diving board.
Yes, exactly. Which is why I never swim.
Well, it's an unfair advantage to all the other competitors, isn't
it? Excuse me, Jesus Christ.
Even when he has to swim, he just refuses.
I just don't.
Just bobs up and down saying, nope,
not doing it.
So is it your actual name?
My actual name is no, but it's something that I've used for a long time. I don't know if Simon told you about like UK Nova Radio and all that kind of stuff.
I'm familiar. Yeah,
right. So that was my radio name, still is, but my actual name is Murray.
Murray, okay.
Yeah, Murray McLean. It's very few of us.
It's got to be the most Scotch name I've ever heard.
Yes, it is, and that is where I am from originally.
Right. Whereabouts in Scotland?
Oh, Edinburgh.
Okay. My second favourite city to York is Edinburgh.
Oh, really? Yeah. Both lovely cities. I have a bias towards Edinburgh, of course.
Yeah.
But,
I have a bit of a bias towards Scotland. A lot of my family were brought up in Scotland.
Oh, really? Cool.
We spent a lot of time there growing up. So my godmother is the only one that still actually lives there. But a lot of my family were brought up in Dumfriesshire.
Oh, cool.
So I know that part of the country very well. But I've been to Edinburgh. I went to the Fringe Festival a few years back, and it was absolutely stunning. I think
it is kick-ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the most impressive vistas that you get when you get off the train and you sort of your first impression of a city.
Yeah.
A lot of it is the first thing you see when you step out of the train station. And
yes.
It's one of the best of those because it's just quite expansive and you can see the castle and you can see up on the hill.
And down in the Princess Street Gardens. And it is a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yeah.
Hopefully moving back there next, well, it would be nice to be doing it this year, but likely as not it'll be next year.
Oh, you're
my
coming
dad
back,
my dad is not well, so I want to come back and
right.
Such like.
As in permanently, semi-permanently, or just for a while, or
no, for good.
Forever.
Until I die. Yes.
Which is
well, like next week sometime.
Okay.
The way I feel right now is probably.
See the Platinum Jubilee.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it's going to take for your true Scotch accent to come back.
You know, that's
hybrid.
Yeah, it is. I lived in London for most of the time that my childhood. I lived mostly in London because my dad moved there for work. And then before I moved here, I lived in Scotland for a couple of years. But I like you, visited many of the time, and it's just, it feels like home. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been to Edinburgh twice. That's about all I can say to join in. I liked it.
Did you?
I liked
nice. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Just rained every single day over there.
Oh, come now.
That's the north, though. That is the north of England.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I'm a very much a sort of temperate climate kind of guy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when I first moved to the United States, I was in Illinois, and it was ridiculous in the summertime. And we lived in an apartment that didn't have air conditioning, and the humidity was just insane.
Yeah.
And I had never experienced anything like this, and I felt like, just please kill me now.
We're not programmed for it.
We're not.
I was away with my wife a couple of months ago, and we were in Sri Lanka, and it was 38 to 40 degrees.
Oh my God!
I was just absolutely melting. She's half Indian, half African, so it's like she was absolutely loving it, and I was just like crawling into the air-conditioned car. Like after 10 minutes, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like checking the weather report. Like, we could do with a good shower, couldn't we? The guy was like, "It hasn't rained for 5 years, Ross."
All right then. So tell me about this podcast.
Yes,
I mean, I know about it.
Right. Okay. From when we started it, or just anyway?
Pitch it, Simon. You got to pitch it.
Right. Okay. Right. So, okay. So it's two guys.
Yeah.
In a world where there's two guys. So we used to work together,
right.
And when I can't remember how we got talking about it, but we were talking about podcasts and things, and I explained that we used to do the UK Nova thing, so I was sort of semi used to doing stuff like that. So we decided to stay after work and just record us doing our top 5 movies.
This is going back like 6 years or something now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a while ago, and we recorded it. Got very, very drunk, and ate a lot of crisps, and we put it out, and it was just out there, and we sort of did another one, and then intended to do one every so often, and didn't. And Ross left and got another job, and then obviously during lockdown, I think you asked for a copy of one of them, didn't you? So I sent it to you. You were listening to it, and then we just thought do some more. So we did it. I think it was like the second month of lockdown.
Yeah.
And we started recording, and then we did our top 10 albums first, and then we did things about the Marvel universe, and then Sherlock Holmes, and then eventually near the end of the year we started getting guests in to do their top 5, and that's kind of not overtaken it, but that's the big sort of bulk of what we do.
Well, I found the more guests we did, the more guests wanted to do it, because I remember when we first talked about it, and I put the feelers out, and I think a lot of the people that I were asking were absolutely bloody terrified of the idea. But then once we'd done 3 guests, 4 guests, 5 guests, and then people actually got to listen to what those guest episodes sounded like, a lot more people started sort of coming forward and saying, "Oh, I'd like to do it," you know. And now we've had, I mean, I don't actually know how many guests we've had, but it's got to be, would you say 20 thereabouts? Maybe closer to 30 now, but I can't quite remember off the top of my head. And every guest episode tends to run for about 3 weeks. So it's formed the. We don't record for 3 weeks; it gets released over 3 weeks. Yeah, I hope you've got your camp bed set up.
Well, I'm sitting on the couch. I can sleep
Yeah.
Well, I'm here.
Got the cream for your deformity.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's one of them, isn't it? Where we sort of we've been doing it for 2 years consistently, and we've got a bit of we've got both a local cult following and quite a wide international listenership as well, haven't we?
Oh, cool. So where do you post it?
Everywhere.
Yep.
It's everywhere.
Anywhere that there might be a person that would look at it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've managed to avoid it.
Well, I don't get out much. So.
Exactly, you're the prime audience then.
Yeah, I suppose I am.
You're not the first American guest, but you are the first Scottish one.
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, just look on your podcast app and just search for Simon and Ross, and you'll find it. We're on all of them pretty much.
Oh, cool.
Which is good. But yeah, I think we're up to about 120 episodes ish.
I kind of got out of the habit of leaving the house. I mean, for various reasons, but I mean, I think everybody. It's been kind of hard to get back into the idea of actually going places and going out for a drink or that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't know if I want to do that still.
Yeah,
I mean, I do, but I'm kind of not doing it.
It's like we went to see Alan Partridge last night at an arena, and it still feels a bit odd having that many people around you, doesn't it, Ross? It was.
Well, to be honest, I think I'm sort of not so much now for me because we've done. I play in like a 9-piece band.
Cool.
We do like Portuguese, Brazilian-inspired funk and dance and samba type stuff, and we've had quite a fair few gigs since the sort of lockdown eased, and we were playing gigs as it was easing. So we were playing venues at 50% capacity seated, and then we started playing 50% capacity standing, and now we're playing 100% capacity standing. So I felt like we had like a transition where at first it was certainly weird. That first gig we played felt like bloody hell. This is the first time I've been around more than 4 or 5 people at once. Yeah, but I think I've been to a couple of arenas since. I know what you mean. But I think maybe it was a bit easier for me because I sort of did various things in the lead up. Because we were desperate to get stuff done. As soon as the rules would ease, we would try and take advantage of it and get something done. So, but yeah, it's bloody. I really missed it big time because I don't usually spend much time sort of indoors sat around other than for work. When it comes to my personal life, I tend to be out and about and doing all sorts of things weekend to weekend. So I really missed it. And to be honest, the podcast was one of those things that really helps you get through that. Is sitting down and starting. It gave you something to work towards, didn't it? Yeah. And it was a brand new and fresh thing. So it was really, really good for that. And then when COVID, when we entered the sort of endemic, it was nice to like just continue doing it because it's become a habit, hasn't it? Yeah. And a lot of people have said it's part of their weekly routine is listening to the podcast. It gets dropped every Monday morning, and people listen to it on the way into work. People listen to it in the shower, and it's become part of their week, which is
and making love.
Yeah.
You had to go there.
Sometimes people grease up to it,
Hello, welcome to the Simon and Ross podcast, and I'm Simon. Hello.
It's still shit at intro. Absolutely crumples as soon as he starts doing it every time.
Hello, welcome to the Simon and Ross podcast. Back again with another guest episode. Say hello to my friend Ross.
Hello.
Hello, Ross.
How are you?
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks. You always miss time this. You should do this right before anybody says anything because I've done the preamble.
Shut up. Okay, and welcome to our first Scottish American guest, a UK Nova legend, and the only man in history to have slept under my dining table using an inflated wine bag from a wine box as a pillow.
Yes.
Say hello to Chimp. Hello Chimp.
How's it going?
Should I be referring to you as Chimp from here on out?
If you want to. I mean, It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It really doesn't.
But seriously, anytime I see a wine box, I think of you.
Thank you very much. It's good to know I live on in your memory.
We had a load of people over, and we ran out of pillows, and it was just like he ripped the bag out of the wine box, finished the last bit of it, inflated it, and went, "That'll do," and just slept on it.
Good times. Good times.
So we've got you here to talk about your top 5 movies.
Yes.
How did you find the process of making your top 5?
It's difficult because I think they kind of change every
Yes.
so often. You'll watch something that you have been meaning to watch for a long time, these are movies that I go back to. I think on a regular basis. So it was difficult, but not difficult. There are so many movies that I like, but these ones are nicer than those.
And we do find out a lot that, especially if there's a bit of delay from us asking you to do it to actually doing it, that people are constantly adding, or they'll randomly think, "Oh, I forgot about X film,"
right?
And then have to sort of slightly rearrange things and move it a little bit. But before we go into that, I've got some questions that I need you to answer for us. Oh no, no, it's all good.
No.
Just give me 1 sec while I mess about with Zoom. Oh, I always ask for a password at this point now, and I don't know. I haven't got much better at this, Chimp. You'd be glad to know.
Oh, great. I have gotten worse and worse every time I do a radio show now, to be honest. There's so many. I went through like a whole year when I first moved to Pennsylvania where it was nothing but technical issues.
Yeah.
Literally nothing but technical issues.
My issues are my brain and my fingers.
Excellent.
Which I had to explain to my psychiatrist as well. Right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Who are you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to answer those?
Please, yes, if you can.
Yes.
We insist.
Okay. Well, I am Chimp Jones or Murray McLean or whatever you want to call me. I've done a sort of weird little side radio thing for the last almost 15 years, I think.
15 years, yeah.
I know. It's amazing. And you'd think I would be halfway good at it by now, but no. Where am I? I'm in the United States, in Pennsylvania. Jeff, quit it. It's the cat. One of the cats.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Was that your wife?
No. Jeff the cat. Jeff the cat and Lady the cat, and there's another cat, Nigel, somewhere. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania. That's it, pretty much. I was originally born in Scotland, then secondarily born elsewhere. I don't know what that means. And
you were born again, like when you found Christ.
I was, yes, when I found Christ. Yes, I do love a Jesus. I really do love a nice Jesus.
A singular.
Yes, one Jesus.
One packet of Jesus, please.
Yes. The cheese and onion Jesus, if you will.
Extra strong Christ.
Yeah.
Quick, come to the shops. There's 20% extra on a single Jesus at the moment.
Does that mean it's more expensive or less expensive?
Same price, just 20% more Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
I think it's worship you've got to pay extra for. I think the crisis standard.
So and why am I?
Yeah.
I suppose that my parents fucked at some point.
Suppose we did.
I have to suppose this because I am here.
Fair assumption to make.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
And
Tale as old as time.
What was there another one?
When are you?
When am I? At least once a week, sometimes twice.
Healthy.
Yeah.
It's natural, isn't it?
It is. It's natural. Nobody should shame you for that.
No, it's just maintenance at this point.
Yes.
Got to service your car.
You really do. Yeah, you gotta.
And finally, how are you?
I'm all right, except I've got some kind of ague currently. I woke up with yesterday, and I've completely lost all the video. Oh, look! I was going to buy something there. I don't need to buy that. No. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right then. Yeah. That's all I care about.
You never went anywhere.
No. When did you start doing UK Nova Radio? Did you start? I think we started in 2005.
Yeah, I think it was. I can't even remember now. I mean, it's in the dim and distant reaches of time.
But it was 17 years ago we started doing it.
Right. Were you before me, or were you after
I
me?
don't know. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think we were contemporaneous at least at some point.
Yeah. It's often been said about me.
Yeah. And we did. We've done many meetups over the years.
Yeah.
The meetups are much better than the radio is, actually. The radio is kind of shit, but the meetups are good.
Maybe a little bit more organized.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you have to actually get somewhere, arrive. Yeah.
So I think it's about 17 years you've been doing it.
Oh, probably.
Which is terrifying.
I know, right?
That's a person that can get married.
That's what?
That's a person that can get married that you've been doing it for.
Yes.
Not quite drink, obviously, in America, but they can get married.
You can, yes. No, you can't. You certainly can't drink, but you can. Well, I mean, if you live in some of the southern states, it takes a lot less than that to get married.
Right. Okay.
I think some of the southern states are actually, 13 with the permission of the parents.
Right.
Bloody hell.
I know, right? Yeah.
I didn't
It's
know
America.
that.
We're number one.
And that's why he's moving back.
Yes. That's exactly why.
13. Oh, I was going to Pot Noodle Club.
Can I ask you what that is? Because I have no idea.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
It's a pot noodle club.
We used to have when I was in school, we were allowed out of the grounds at lunchtime.
Right. Yeah. We were
but what that led to was lots of kids from lots of schools loitering around on the streets between the hours of
yes.
Yeah.
So, and then there was lots of fights, mainly food fights. People would go to the bakery, myself included, and you would buy pies and you would launch them at other school children in schools. So they started staggering the lunch times.
It's an Olympic sport now.
It's an Olympic sport, yeah. And one of the schools was private, so they were really fucked. They used to get absolutely, you've never seen.
They could probably afford better pies, though, couldn't
they? Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, we were throwing meat and potato pies. They were throwing Viennese whirls.
Yeah, exactly.
You've never seen so many chocolate eclairs in flight at once. It darkened the skies. It did.
It's like the end of 300.
Yeah. I thought it was a lunar eclipse, and it was just a big shoe bun. So these, and the back to the original point, they started sort of partnering with various places close to the schools to try and encourage kids to you know, you were going to leave school grounds anyway. They weren't going to take that away from you, but you could go somewhere else rather than just walk around on the streets. And
Right.
Pot Noodle Club was ran by a local church.
Of course.
And I think for £1, you got a pot noodle and a calypso.
A calypso is some kind of drink, right?
Yeah, it's just a little carton of shit pop. And a bit like
very sugary orange pop. Yeah.
Oh, it's like
the Venga Boys.
Did it actually taste of anything? Is it like Bar's Iron Brew? Or?
No, it was watered down orange juice and piss. Is probably the closest comparable. Like any other standard cider, really. But
hot noodles and piss. It's a good time.
So that's what we used to do. We used to go to Pot Noodle Club. So I mean, back to your original point, you know, some people are getting married at 13. We were trying to find a way to get out of going to fucking Pot Noodle Club again. Marriage couldn't have been further off the agenda. In fact, I'd have probably sooner done that than go to Pot Noodle Club.
Plus, you would have had to have shared your pot noodle as well, so you know that's not good. Unless you could get a pot noodle each.
I'm not going half wax on a Bombay bad boy, Simon. Pot noodles, fine.
So going back to your list. So have you got some clues for your?
I do, as a matter of fact. Now I want you to bear in mind that because I am ancient to some degree, many of the movies that I like. It's not to say that I don't like modern movies.
Okay.
But many of the movies that I really enjoy are from quite some time ago.
Okay.
So. That being said, I've got two movies that are also Rands in my favorites. Now, I've got clues that include plot lines and quotes, and then directors and people that are in it. So I want to start with the first also Ran.
Okay.
The plot line of this is a good-looking blonde man comes back from lunch and everything is ruined. It's a great clue.
A good-looking blonde man.
Yep.
So, is this a famous actor?
Yes, it is a famous actor.
And okay, I think we need to narrow it down to at least a decade. Was it released in the was it released in the 80s?
It was released in 1975, as a matter of fact.
1975.
Now, bear in mind, I mean, I was born in 1963, so I wasn't exactly. I wasn't old or anything in 1975. I wasn't an adult, I guess.
Yeah.
You're 12.
Yes, I was. But, and I don't think I saw this movie until the mid 80s when it was on television.
And the lead actor, was he American?
Yes, he is American. He's the archetype of good-looking blonde American male actors.
Okay.
He's been in films particularly with Paul Newman.
So Robert Redford.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Robert Redford goes out to dinner and everything is ruined.
No. He comes back from lunch and everything is ruined.
Okay.
And the entire movie goes like it stems from this everything being ruined after lunch, which for me, that's generally the case too. I generally have to spend so much time in the fucking toilet after lunch. It's hell to get old. It really is. I'm going to be fucking 60 next year. My bowels, I swear.
Well, the problem is you're in the right company here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notoriously. And if you do go back and listen to the podcast, you will discover our bowel issues. Excellent.
I have shit my pants so many times throughout my life. I mean, I've got so many fucking stories about shit. It's not.
Do we need a top? Do we need a top 5 list of your stories of shit in your pants?
This is a breath of fresh air. I've been waiting for this jingle for years.
I have shit my pants. 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 That should be a whole other podcast, though, right?
Yeah.
Simon
And that would be all that it was. It would be like people coming on and saying, like, oh, there's one time I was doing this and I shit my pants.
Yeah.
MTV would have made a series out of that in the early 2000s.
They probably fucking did.
Instead of punked, it's just soiled.
Yeah. And it's apostrophe D. Like this.
So can you give us your most recent shit in your pants?
Most recent was last year.
Okay.
But fortunately I didn't do it at work, which has been I've done at work several times throughout the year. I mean, I was just at home, and when sometimes when you have to fart, you're like, I gotta let this out.
Yeah.
And I just gotta let this out. And then you're so excited to get it out that you don't think ahead and suppose that there might be any downside to this.
Yeah.
And so you let it out, and suddenly there's some follow through, and you're like, oh no. Unfortunately, I was in the house, so I just went to the bathroom. But I mean, I've been outside. I've been back in my old place. It was in the basement. I used to do this scavenger hunt thing every year, and it was like you had to make videos about stuff and junk. And at the very end of the week that this scavenger hunt went on for, I was editing the last piece of video that we had in the basement. And it's just I've got like 20 minutes to get this done, and my laptop at the time, it's like an X1 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it crashed, and I'm like, no, and I was so like emotional about it that I just shit my pants. and I thought to myself, should I finish the edit? Should I go and clean up? And to my shame, I went.
The answer is, of course, yes.
Well, yeah. So that was the thing.
Was it just?
Yes, it was just exactly that. And I'm sitting in a chair, like a computer chair, like an office chair or whatever. And it's just like, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's dripping.
Fortunately, I was in the basement, so I just took my pants, my trousers,
threw them at the wall,
threw them in the washing machine, and then wiped myself a little bit.
Just
a little bit,
purely for
just
pleasure.
A little bit. I just for a pleasurable side thing, because I like wiping.
It's true though, isn't it? How many times, you don't give any consideration for having to catch a fart, do you?
No, you guys
you just think. I mean, the whole idea is it's a gaseous, it's constitution.
Yes, it is.
Let me just write that down. Gaseous constitution. There you go. We've both got issues with certain types of food. I've narrowed mine down to onions and peppers. So
I've narrowed mine down to anything that goes in the mouth.
Yeah. Ross notoriously has a very tight sphincter.
Well, it's well known. You're probably aware of him. I mean, I know that the news has yet reached Pennsylvania, but it's. I'm like, it's my sphincter is like James Bond. I'm known internationally.
Many different
I like the
actors
idea
have
that
played
somebody
it.
would have a James Bond sphincter. I mean, just like that.
That could just be a title of a James Bond movie, couldn't it?
It could be sphincter.
Sphincter.
The man with the swollen ring.
There's a whole like
swollen eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will now intersperse us saying random James Bond. Ross is still thinking of another one. You can see it in his face.
Oh, there's loads there. I'm just trying to pick the best
Yeah, there's bound to be another one at the very least.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many fucking Bond films that it has to be.
I mean, Goldfinger doesn't even need changing because if you
No.
use if
No.
you're using cheap toilet roll, we've all been there.
Oh yeah. I have experimented over the years with cheap toilet roll, and it's that way lies madness, quite frankly.
It's wasted. It's wasted economy. It really
It
is.
It's totally wasted.
It's one thing.
It's the one thing you
never cheap out on. Never cheap out on it.
No.
Yeah.
Do not skimp on the toilet roll.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Lest you four-finger fillet yourself on the regular.
Indeed. Should we go back to the movie?
No, I'm good.
If you want.
All right,
This is my sweet spot. This.
We can just abandon the movies and just talk about that.
Yeah, who cares about top 5 movies?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Top 5 times I shit myself. And Bond movies named after those. Anyway, this movie was directed by Sidney Pollack, who may have heard of. And here's a quote from the movie. Joe, who is the character played by Robert Redford, and also Faye Dunaway is in this movie.
Okay.
Says, "I'd like to go back to New York." This is kind of towards the end of the movie. And Joubert, who is played by, I can't remember who he was played by, says, "You have not much future there. It will happen this way. You may be walking, maybe the first sunny day of the spring, and a car will slow beside you, and the door will open, and someone you know, maybe even trust, will get out of the car, and he will smile, a becoming smile, but he will leave open the door of the car and offer to give you a ride."
I don't think there's only one film I think I know what I'm just thinking of Robert Redford, 1970s, and there's only one film I know, and it can't be that is The Great Gatsby.
Oh no, it's not. It's not.
But other than that's why I'm thinking.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do you want me to just reveal it?
It's not The Apartment, is it? I don't think that's Faye Dunaway, is it?
It's not the way.
It's the Apartment.
No, it's not that.
No. Right. Okay.
So
that's Jane Fonda. It's all right. Ignore me.
What's the character's name?
Joe. So how this works is that this guy works for. It's never really clear who he works for. I'm assuming the CIA or something like that. He goes out to lunch, and when he comes back from lunch, somebody has been into the office and killed everybody that is in the office, and he only survives because he was eating a sandwich. And over the next 3 days, he meets Faye Dunaway, has sex with her, which is kind of a distraction, honestly. But,
It distract me.
Yes, and he almost gets killed several times, and he calls in and says, "Oh, can you help me?" And they're like, "No, we're not going to help you," because they're using him as a bait to figure out who it is exactly that did all the killings. And it's just it's very tightly directed.
Right.
It's just very good.
I don't think I know it about you.
I know, and I'm not convinced that even when you say it, I'm going to know it.
Okay, you may not. It's not. I mean, it's not the most famous movie by any manner of means that Robert Redford ever made. It's called 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Well, it's worth a look. Remember, this is an also ran. It's it's a nice romp through people being murdered.
And occasionally having sex with Faye Dunaway.
Yes, with Faye Dunaway, who interestingly enough used to live near me when I lived in Richmond in London.
Really?
Yeah. She would never acknowledge me, but
See, Simon,
no, how many times?
Everyone's from fucking Romley. See, I was really scared. Then you were going to say, actually, no, she used to go up. She used to live in Romley. I was like, this is a.
Well, she may have after that. You know.
It won't surprise me. Simon lays a claim to every single person that we've ever spoken about has some ties to Romley.
Oh yeah, I could see it. We should Google Faye Dunaway Romley.
Yeah, has she ever been?
Oh,
Extra bonus points if she's had sex there.
Yeah, with Robert Redford.
Yeah.
The movie was originally called 3 Days in Romley.
I do always find it very distracting in any of those films where they have, something like that is happening, but they manage to find time to have sex at some point.
Yeah, well, because you got it.
Yeah, if there's all these
Simon, get over it.
Yeah. All right, okay, all right.
Move on.
Corrected.
There's two things that sells in this world: sex and shit in your pants. Tick. Move on.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're sort of outlining the perfect movie here: shitting, sex, and Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got a second also ran if you want to.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this is a really, really easy one. This is from 1968.
Okay.
When I was 5. So I did not see that when it came out. And so the plot is monkey men are scared, and then they learn some stuff.
All right.
Then Dave experiences some problems with the University of Illinois' friend Hal.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've got that.
Good.
Is that Charles? No, not Charles. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who are you trying to guess?
The lead actor?
Keir Dalia, I think is the...
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I haven't got it.
If that's how you pronounce his name. And it's directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, fuck me. I was way off. My mind was way off from the very first clue, but now I'm back on track. Yeah.
What did you think it was?
At first, I was expecting Planet of the Apes.
I just rewatched
about...
Planet of the Apes, the original one with Charlton Heston, yesterday or the day before.
Oh, right. Weird coincidence.
Cracking.
Yeah. But we're talking about the monolith, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how?
Yes.
I sometimes put that on when I'm ironing or something. It's such a relaxing film to watch.
Yeah. There's two things that are great for when you're hungover.
Films to iron by.
Yeah.
Golf and this film.
Yeah.
Two things to watch when you're rough. Yeah. If David Attenborough's not on, golf.
Yeah.
Or 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. I think it's the music. The music's so relaxing, and nothing much happens for a long period of time.
Yes, that's very true. Nothing much does happen for a long period.
Yeah, but I never care. I never care because I just let it all happen in front of me.
I was going to say that. I mean, the pacing is very, very slow, but it's not necessarily a distraction from anything because I mean. It's supposed to be. Basically, the movie is covering millions of years, so it's gonna be slowish.
Can you think of any other instance where it's quicker to read the book? Because the book is you could go for a shit and get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you pretty much can. The Arthur C. Clarke book.
Depends on the setting.
On a toilet or in your pants, whichever you choose.
Yeah, right, exactly. Another movie that is good to shit your pants by. Yeah, that's a good question. Yes.
Your very own
the monkeys learn to weaponize the turds. It's great.
Yes. That movie is the first instance of monkeys throwing turds in movies.
Very
even
similar
though they
to
don't do it.
my secondary school lunchtimes. Yeah, quality film. It's not my favourite Kubrick film, but it's up there. And to be honest, I think Kubrick films are interchangeable for me.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, my favorite Stanley Kubrick film is The Shining, which I know is not broadly considered as one of his best, but it's got Jack Nicholson and Sissy Spacek in it, and it's fucking good. And that the scene where the little boy is riding his big wheel scooter or his little bicycle, it's really fucking good.
Here's a really good bit of trivia for you for The Shining. Is Jack Nicholson. Well, by all accounts, I think a few of the actors' lives were made an absolute misery on set to get the best out of them. But Jack Nicholson, one thing he absolutely hates is an egg sandwich. So guess what Stanley Kubrick forced him to eat all
egg sandwiches? I did not know.
Yeah, to get him riled up, to get him really pissed off.
Did he shit his pants?
Probably. I mean,
he should have. He's a method actor, so I mean.
Wendy, darling, get the toilet roll.
Here's Johnny. Oh God.
When I'm sitting at that toilet, you stay the fuck away.
All work and no play makes Jack shit himself.
Maybe that's why he needed all that paper.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly. But so Shining. Well, I don't know if did Kubrick really do any other like horror. He did a lot of psychological stuff, I suppose, but not so much, not as clearly definable as horror as The Shining.
I mean, I guess you could probably. I mean, maybe you could classify A Clockwork Orange as kind of horror. Like
I'd say that's more like that's more psychological. It's more like psychological. It's more of a drama, I'd say, than a horror. Weirdly, is Clockwork Orange. I don't think it has that much in common with your stereotypical horror film.
Maybe.
It's dark. It's probably one of his darkest films, Clockwork Orange, isn't it? If not the darkest film he did.
It's pretty fucking dark, yeah.
It was banned for a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, in the UK for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Doctor Strangelove was always my consistently my most favorite.
It's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just.
I think just while I'm thinking about this. Not to interrupt, but I'm gonna. Stanley Kubrick also lived in Richmond. I don't know where he lived.
And they both holidayed in Romley, didn't they?
They did.
What about holiday in Romley?
Which is one of the Stanley Kubrick movies that has still not been released. Holiday in Romley. With Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Tom Holland lives in Romley. Not in Richmond.
Oh, he does.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. It's all the cool people. I think Mick Jagger used to live there.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were giving a list of cool people.
I have a soft spot for the Rolling Stones. I think. You did an Eggnog and Stew show on favorite albums, I think, once.
Right. Okay.
And one of my favorite albums ever is Exile on Main Street, which is like, I mean, I actually have the vinyl of that somewhere sitting around here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it right now, but you know. You got to listen to this.
I do. I like that album. I've spent my whole life slagging the Rolling Stones off, but again during lockdown, I thought, I'm going to give that album a try, and it deserves all the sort of praise that it gets.
I was going to say, Simon, I've never heard you really say much positive about the Stones.
I went through a period where that was like that all I listened to when I was like 17 or 18 or something like that.
I think it's different to everything else that they did.
Yeah, for sure.
And they weren't 107 still touring at that point.
Yeah, I would not. I would certainly nowadays. I would not pay whatever the price of a Rolling Stones ticket is.
Ridiculously expensive.
$300 and whatever they have.
Yeah. No, at the Pomp, maybe you could have persuaded me to go and see him. Yeah,
maybe.
So yeah, rejects. We have 3 Days of the Condor and
Yes.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes. I can hear you whisper, children, so I know you're down there. I can feel myself getting awful mad. I'm out of patience, children. I'm coming to find you now. I have shit my pants.